Man, that is good. That is good. Well, hello, everyone. You can just put it right there. Thanks, Lindsay. I got to bring Mr. and Mrs. Mugg back out. How many of you were here last week? Did you notice anybody spitting blue or pink beads on you this week? Anybody? I mean, I didn't even get out of the church until some woman started spitting pink beads on me. I said, I ain't your husband. I ain't going home with you. Right. Well, we found out a whole lot of things about this Staying in Love series that I hope that has been a blessing to you. And regardless of what your stage of life is, I believe all of us still want to know that we can fall in love and we can stay in love with one person forever. That we decided that just having fishing friends or just having shopping friends or talking on the phone friends isn't enough. But we want to have that one special someone in our life who will be there for us, who will grow old with us until the Lord takes them home or takes you home, that you know will love you no matter what. Now, I said last week that since this was the desire of every woman and it was the desire of every man, why is it so difficult? Why does our culture go against the very fact that a man and a woman want to fall in love and stay in love forever? Why is it hasn't worked out for many people, even the majority of people? And asking the Juno question was asking the movie, can a person fall in love with one person and stay happy with that same person for all of their life? Our culture would tell you no. Statistics would tell you it can't happen. If you look in your family's history, it's hard for many of us to be able to say, well, you know, uncle and aunt stayed together. I mean, it's a rare, rare thing. To be able to look at an Alan and Jill Buck. Alan and Jill, raise your hand at me. Hold your hand up. Alan, hold your hand up. 65 years this week. 65 years. I asked Jill what was her secret to staying married for 65 years, and she says, well, as you grow older, losing your hearing helps. Might be something to that. But what I want to do is I just want to recap this a little bit, and then I want to talk to you this morning just a little bit more about this bead situation, these lifelong loving relationship damaging issues that you and I have in us, and every one of you women have them in you. You have things in you that will damage a relationship from going the long run. And every man in here has things in you that will damage a relationship from going the long run. How many of you have ever heard this quote? Familiarity breeds, come on now, contempt, absolutely. Familiarity breeds contempt. Contempt is a lack of respect, right? So whether you have this at the workplace or you have this in your home relationship or you have this with friends, after a while, when you first meet somebody, there's this great amount of respect that goes on. But after you kind of find out that, you know what, they're not really that hot, they got some mishaps in their life, some things are going on, then all of a sudden you just don't look at them with the same factor as what you once had. Well, there's nobody on this planet that you're going to spend more time with than you do your mate. And so as you spend time with your mate, the disrespect factor can always kick in. And there is not a woman in here who wants to feel disrespected, especially for the man she's given her body to. And there's not a man in here who wants to feel disrespected, especially to the woman that he literally is giving his one and only life on this planet for. So there's some major factors that come against this whole lifelong relationship thing. And that's why so many people hop out of one honeymoon stage after 3 or 4 years to another honeymoon stage, because you're continually looking for that high that you once had when you first met your mate. And I said this in the very beginning. I said, look, to fall in love means attraction. To stay in love means you got to take action. To fall in love just takes a pulse. And to stay in love takes a plan. And one of those plans are, according to Jesus, that you got to turn love into a verb. You fall into love. That's a noun. And I hope you fall in hard, and I hope you fall in deep. But if you plan on staying in love, you better have some kind of plan of action in place. And for the last 35 years, Ann and I have looked at couples that are older than us, and we have said, I like that, I don't like that. And this, I like that, I don't like that. I don't like it when she finishes his sentences. I don't like that. You should notice that? I don't like it when, he doesn't cover her back. You know what I'm saying? Where he doesn't have her back, and he belittles her. So Ann and I said, here's some rules. Here's a plan that you and I are going to have. We are never going to disrespect each other. We are never going to talk to each other in a mean and a hateful way. Our home will not be a place where you're and I'm we're not going to have that. That's just not going to be the language in our home. We're not going to, get loud and belittle each other and talk to each other in a way like it. We will never use the D word. D word's never on the table. Never. Never on that. I don't care how mad you get at me. I don't care how mad I get at you. The D word's not an option for us. So we will look for other options. But that's not an option for us. So we had a plan going into it that would cause us to be able to say, look, we are going to be kind to each other. We are going to be loving to each other. We are going to speak respectfully to each other. We're not going to draw a big old duct tape line right down the middle of our house, and that's yours and that's mine. No, We're going to share. We're going to find like interest. If there's something that I like to do, like golf, after 15 years of marriage, Anna picked up the game of golf. We used to, if there's something she likes to do, like shopping and stuff like that, I will go shopping with her on occasions. I will do that. But there are things she likes and things I like, and you know what? One strategy that I tried early on in our marriage is when I knew she loved to go shopping and do stuff like that, I would try to make her shopping experience with me so miserable that she never wanted to take me again. Has any of your men done that to you guys? You know what I'm saying? It's like, stay at home, please. Give me a gift and do not come to the mall with me today. So, but we got to have like interests. We got to treat each other kindly. She has to be my number one priority. I have to be her number one priority. And I got to know that. And you know what? She's got to know that too. So making marriage or making love a verb is so very important. Then, guys, we really kind of talked to you guys a couple of weeks ago about men being courageous. And I think the kind of life, the kind of goal that God wants to set for us, the kind of responsibilities that He has for us is not necessarily being modeled on television these days very much. I absolutely hate sitcoms where men are put across as idiots. In this, Everybody Loves Raymond is one. Yes, Dear is another. Almost every sitcom in the evening where you find there's men and women, the women are always beautiful and intelligent, and the guys are always complete idiots. Have you noticed that? So we don't really have a lot of guy role models that are in our life, and there's this femininity thing that's coming where men are wearing, tight butt jeans and you really don't know. And let me tell you as a man how I feel about that. It makes me sick to be around feminine men. I just want to lay it right out to you. And most real women that I know, it makes them sick to be around feminine men. Men and women both appreciate men in our life who are masculine, who will step up and take on the responsibility that God has laid on our shoulders, who will be masculine, who will be providers, who will be protectors, who will step up and say, let's get this thing done, let's move this family forward. And that's so incredibly important. And a lot of men, though, you just didn't have that model for you. Now, some of us did. I mean, we were raised by men's men who, thank God, they were able to tell us they loved us, able to put their arms around us and say, you're doing a good job, I'm proud of you, son, and all that kind of stuff. But I know a lot of you guys simply did not get that. And I know there's a lot of teenagers, bless your heart, I love you, but you're being raised by women, your mentors are women, you're taking your cues from women, and your demeanor is that of a woman. And that is not what God meant for you to have in your life. So what we have decided to do was to be more courageous men, to be mentoring young men in our church that do not have a male role model, to step up and say, hey man, I don't always get it right, but here's some things God's blessing in my life. And to be men that provide for our family. Man, I deal with a lot of men, and I know the pressures that guys have on our lives right now. And one of the biggest pressures that we have on our lives is the fact that we are to provide for our family regardless of what the economy does. Take a look at 1 Timothy chapter 5 and verse 8 on the side screen. But if anyone does not provide for his own, and especially for those of his household, he has denied the faith and is worse than a what? Wait a minute, don't unbelievers go to hell? Really? And God is saying, really, how I'm looking at those men who will not provide for their family? I'm looking at those guys as worse than an unbeliever. Their relationship with me is broken. It is fractured. So regardless of how difficult it is, regardless of the weight of the responsibility, God knows how He made men. And you are to be busy. We are to be working. The worst thing that could happen to the man in your life, he works too much. Let me tell you something. You get a bored man in your life who's not working, he is going to do dangerous things to himself, dangerous things to your relationship, and dangerous things to your family. You need, women, the best thing that you can have in your life is an extremely busy man who is providing for your family. And if one job doesn't cut it, 2 jobs. And if 2 jobs doesn't cut it, guys, 2.5 jobs. You say, well, I don't know if I signed up for that. You did when you say I do. That's exactly what you say. You're either working or you're looking for work. Now, here's the thing that you can decide. You can decide how much pressure do you want on you. Do you want a $600,000 home? Really? With a $4,600 a month payment? Well, you better get yourself 2.5 jobs or something really good. If you want a $200,000 home and you want to make payments that are around $900 to $1,100 a month, that's fine. You can decide the pressure that you put on you, and you allow your family. Sit down with her and say, baby, I want to play more, I want to hang out with you more, and I want to work less. That's fine. You decide it. But when you decide it, you step up and you play the role you're supposed to play in it. And we said, guys, it is not easy being a guy. We got all kinds of pressure on us. But our life on this planet is to be busy protecting, providing, nurturing, giving all kinds of love that goes on in that relationship, being Christ to our family and to our wives. And that is a full-time and a half job that we have listed for us. So that was really important that we talked about that. We dealt with men. Then Tim talked about how to make love a verb. Remember that? He said you got to prefer the other person. That's so important. You don't finish the story. Listen, if she is telling the story wrong, let her tell it wrong. Do not correct her. Have you ever been out with a couple where she's trying to say, honey, you remember last week, or she's trying to tell a story where last week, remember we went out with so-and-so on a Wednesday, and he interrupts and goes, no, baby, it was a Thursday. Okay, nobody at the table cares if it was a Wednesday or a Thursday. Get to the point of the story. Are you with me? So cover each other's back. I always told Anna, I said, baby, if you hear me lie, add to it. Caught a fish this big. No, baby, I think it was real. Woo! Just add to it. Just got my back. It doesn't make any difference. I'll deal with God on that later, but you just cover my back. That's all you got to do. That's your job in this situation. And then we talked about the fact that we all have these relationship damaging beads. Now, we brought out Mr. and Mrs. Mugg. If you missed it, you need to get the DVD or watch it on the internet. But we talked about the fact that Mr. Mugg comes into a relationship with Mrs. Mugg. He's got lifelong damaging issues. Let me deal with her for a minute. How many of you women ever had a boyfriend, come on, let's get real for a minute, who cheated on you? Real quick. Whoop, whoop, okay. All right, that boyfriend did this for you. Oh. And some poor, unexpected guy is going to pay for what he did to you. Are you with me? Okay. Now, every guy in here has been done wrong by a friend, a girl, or what. How many of you guys have been done wrong in a relationship? Raise your hand. Up. Now, okay. Every one of you, that relationship puts stuff in you. She's got to pay for it later. Are you with me? So we all have, and then I talked about the fact, how many of you have been married more than 10 years? All right, tell me if this is true or not. Let me go to the women. He has brought on more exciting things in your life than anyone else on the planet. Yes or no? He has made you madder than anyone else on the planet. Yes or no? That yes was stronger. Okay. You had aggravating brothers growing up in your life. They never ticked you off like a husband ticks you off. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you can make this statement, she has never made me happier. No one has ever made me happier but her, and no one has ever made my head want to explode more than her. Congratulations, you've been married more than 2 years. No one has ever made me madder than him. He's crazy. And yet no one has ever filled my life with ecstasy more than him. Congratulations, you're married to a man. You've been there for more than 2 years, right? And then you find out, and here's what you need to know, ladies, and you ladies get so freaked out. Look, we don't get freaked out when you spit pink beads on us. Really? Seriously, do pink beads scare you? Nah. Of course, he's packing a gun, but pink beads don't scare this man. Why is it that you women get so freaked out when you can spit pink beads all over us of issues of your past, daddy issues, trust issues, you name it? And then we spit some blue beads out and you're like, whoa, the world's coming to an end. Why do you do that? They're just blue beads, issues in his past. You weren't even there. You had nothing to do with it. God just let you cause something to come out of him that God wants him to deal with. Oh, it isn't even about you. So when your guy starts spitting blue beads, here is your response. I'm told I couldn't make a mess today. But okay. Here is your response to your husband, okay? Okay? You say to your husband, you say, honey, you need to probably deal with that with him, okay? Secondly, you probably need to clean up this mess. And thirdly, you're welcome. Okay? And don't freak out about it. Don't freak out about it. Because these are issues in our, somebody just spills some pink beads and you start looking at her going, she's a freak. I don't know where she's coming from. I didn't know this was in her. She didn't either. She didn't either. And you marry a man, he's got anger issues. Oh my gosh, I've never heard language come out of a man, and oh my goodness, I don't know what to do. He scares me a little. It's blue beads. He didn't know that was in him either. You are in his life for him to deal with things, not with you, but with his heavenly Father that somebody else put in him before you got him. That's your role. That's your role. And it's a great role to play because you get the benefits of a man who gets his act cleaned up with the Heavenly Father, and then you don't have to deal with it anymore. No other woman on the planet does. Thank you, Jesus. That's good. That's good. Now, the next thing that we got to know in this every man has blue beads, every man has pink beads is the 80-20 life relationship satisfaction principle. Did y'all write that down? The 80-20 life relationship satisfaction principle, and here it is, and I wish I would have known this a long time ago. Nothing on this earth, nothing you can touch, nothing that is tangible, nothing that you can put your hands on, no relationship, no house, no job, no man, no woman is going to give you 100% of what you want on this planet. And God made it to where you cannot look to anything on this earth to give you what only He can give you. You say, now, oh yeah, all right. All right, you're clapping and everything, but let's just net that out for a little bit. That means out of any man on this planet, the best you're going to get, 80%. Now, you might go through stages where your man's, he's a 90%er. He's a 95%er. Let me talk to you for a little while. Let me dig into you. Let me go to your family reunion and talk to your relatives. And I will quickly find out that there are some things about him you don't like, right? And if you could wish, you might wish six-pack abs on him. Oh, you women are like, oh, no, this is, Pastor, this is church. We don't, no. You heard about the man that took his wife to the fair, right? It's on her birthday. And took her on a merry-go-round, took her on a roller coaster, gave her cotton candy, did all that kind of thing. And he said to her at the end of the day, she was kind of sick. He said to her at the end of the day, baby, did you have a good birthday? Did you have a good day? And she said, yeah, baby, I had a good day, but I do not understand why you felt like you needed to take me to a circus-type fair on my birthday. And he said, well, you told me for your birthday you wanted to be 6 years old again. And she says, honey, I didn't say I wanted to be 6 years old. I said I wanted to be a size 6. Again, that's what I wanted to be. Okay. All I'm trying to say is this. There are areas of your mate you may not always be happy with. You may not always be happy with it. And what the enemy will do is when you get really used to that 80%, what the enemy will do is start making that 20% you're not getting look way bigger than the 80% that you are getting. Listen to what I'm telling you. And then somebody at work will walk in with that 20% that you've been looking for, missing the 80% of the good man that you already have. And if you are not careful, the enemy at a very weak, vulnerable point in your life, this is how come relationships fail, the enemy will start making that 20% look so much more important than the 80% you're getting. Now, I'm going to tell you this. A good man that's delivering 80% to his wife will always want to deliver more. And a good woman that's giving 80% to her husband will always want to find out, honey, baby, how can I be more of what you want me to be? Always trying to do that. But just life in general, what will happen is you will look at that 20%. The enemy will say, go for it. You'll trade that 80 for that 20. I don't care. I don't care if it's a church. Our church will never be 100% of what you want. You will trade churches all over Grand Junction looking for something that Fellowship Church ain't giving you. And what you're going to find out is what a lot of people find out. Pretty soon you're going to wake up with that 20 realizing you gave up the 80 to have it. And you will be miserable with that 20%. Are you with me? So this is a trick of the devil. This is a trick of the devil to get you to trade what God has for you. And it's also a trick of the devil to get you to try to fix problems on your own. How many single people do we have in here? Raise your hand. Every single person, stand up real quick. I'm not going to embarrass you, I promise. Just stand up. Just stand yourself on up. Okay, good. Wow. Good looking single people. Okay, be seated. Listen to me. Okay. How many of you have had a relationship that went south? Oh, raise your hand. I won't make you stand anymore, okay? I would say every one of you, right? Every one of you. Okay, cool. Now, what the enemy would have you to believe is you're not going to ChristianMingle.com. That's where you're going to find your mate. You're not letting Aunt Susie take you to the family and bring a friend and she will pee. Okay? Some of you, can I shoot straight with you? I'm going to shoot straight with you. This isn't just singles. I'm telling you, please let me be your brother. Some of you are decision impaired. Can I talk to you? Don't get mad at me now. Some of you couldn't choose a good relationship if they were to walk up to you and buy you lunch today, right? I'm telling you the truth. Put 10 goofball idiots in the room with you and one great guy, right? Or 10 great guys and one goofball idiot. You will pick the loser. Do I need to talk to your parents? I will talk to your parents. Right? Okay. So please listen to me. Some of you that stood up a minute ago, I love you, bless your heart, I love you. You don't have any more time to waste on a relationship. The next one you get had better last you a while, or you'll never experience a 30-year-long marriage, because you're getting too old. No, come on now. So who's going to pick your next one? Since you've been so good at picking the past ones, who's going to do it? Oh, I saw that. I need single moms in this section to stand up. Single moms in this section, stand up. Single moms in this section, stand up. All right, cool. Hey. Stay up. Single moms in this section, stand up. Single moms in this section, stand up. All right, how many of you been here less than 5 years? Raise your hand. Less than 5? All right, you, right here. Everybody else sit down. Danny, right? Is your name Danny? Come here. Have I ever talked to you before? No? You know what I hear? Huh? No, you know what I know about you? My staff love you, okay? And they say you're very outgoing and you don't embarrass easily, right? No. Okay, I need you to get your purse. Do you have a purse here? You don't have a purse here? Okay. Can you take your earrings off? You can't? Seriously, they don't come off? They really don't? They don't? Oh, they're, let me see them. I need you to find something you can trade. It's a lousy. You didn't bring a purse to church? Did you bring car keys to church? They're in children's ministry?
I brought my phone.
I want your phone. Get your phone. I'm not trading you for a scarf. That's all there is to it. Is it an iPhone? Oh. I got a broken phone from a single mom, which doesn't surprise me, but it is an iPhone. Okay, cool. Okay, here, hold that phone for a second. Here's what I want to do. I want to tell you the rules of this little game I'm fixing to play with you, okay? Here it is. I'm going to make a trade with you. I heard you work in our children's ministry, and you're a single mom, and you're a hairdresser?
No.
You're not?
I'm a bank teller.
You're a bank teller. Okay, because if you were a hairdresser, I was going to have a serious talk with you after this service is over. So you're a bank teller, okay, but you're a single mom. Okay, here's the thing. I want to make a trade with you for your iPhone. Okay, now here's the deal. I'm going to trade for your iPhone what I have in this pocket. Now I'm just going to kind of, okay. What do you see? Okay. There's more in there but $1. There's more in there but just $1. But I want you to understand, Danny, that this trade is for real. It's not just a message illustration. If you trade with me, you forget these people right here. If you trade with me, whatever I have in my pocket is going to you. Your iPhone goes to me. It is forever mine, and I can do with it whatever I want to do with it forever. And you get what is in my pockets, okay? That's going to be the trade. Now, don't rush into this, because I want you to understand, when you hand me that iPhone, it's mine, okay? And I'm going to trade you. But here's the promise I want to make with you, okay? If you trade me, my promise is this. Before you walk out of here, you will be in way better shape than what you were when you came in here. Let me say that again. My promise is, before you walk out of here, you will be in way better shape than what you were when you came in here. Now, this is what you've got to know. Do I have a heart for single moms, or do I think me with an iPhone and you with a couple of dollars is better for you? Could I think that? Could I think that that would be true? Would anybody in here think that that would be real or true? That if I felt like you not having an iPhone as a single mom and having $2 in your pocket would be better, and I would be better if I had your iPhone? Do you think that would be better for you or better for me? You need to think about that. Now, in case, how long you been coming here?
I marked my year in
February was a year? Okay. So yeah. So you know me, but you don't know me that well. You don't know me that well. So to help you out with this decision, JL in here? Is JL in here? No, she's not in here? How about my daughter-in-law? My daughter-in-law in here? Amelie? Give her some advice. Should she trade with me or not trade with me? Stand up, tell her. Give her some advice. What should she do? Okay. She's telling you trade. Okay, let me find somebody else that knows me real well in here. Who knows me real well? Sean and Lindsay know me real well. Should she trade with me? Jamie, should she trade with me? Okay, now you've gotten some advice that says trade with me. Okay? What do you want to do?
I feel like I'm on
Let's make it. Yeah. I look more like Howie Mandel, but we'll go with let's make a deal.
They tell me to trade, and I trust my church.
Okay, so I'm getting your son. Okay, good. That's my phone. I could Craigslist this, probably get 2.5, maybe 3.25. Is that a 4G or 3G? It's a 4G? I only have a 3G, so this is better than my phone. I could get the case replaced. It's good. Everything in my pocket. I got a piece of candy wrapper. I've got Listerine breath mints. Not saying you need them, but that's what I got. I carry them because I need them. So 2 Listerine breath mints. I've got $3. $3, okay? Hold that. Okay, now. Think the deal's done yet? What was the promise? Would you feel better with $3 and some breath mints? Your friends might, but I don't know. I don't know that would be a good deal, would it? Would that be a good deal, anybody? Okay. But this is mine, okay? We made a deal, okay? In my pocket, I have 2 Visa gift cards, $50 each. That is $100 in Visa gift cards. They're already activated, by the way. I just didn't take the time to peel the sticker off. So there's $100 in Visa gift cards. This would get you like a massage, a girls' day massage, nails done, stuff like that. You could do girl stuff with that money right there. Okay, so that's yours. That's for there, $100. Okay. Still not done. Still not done. I stopped by the ATM this morning. Now, this is not from the church. This is from Ann and I, okay? Church is broke. Ann and I are not. And I pulled out as much cash as I could get, okay? So since that phone is mine and since this cash is mine, I'm going to wrap this around the phone, and I can do with it whatever I want to do with it, and I want to give it to you. Okay? You're welcome. You're welcome. Okay, now go sit down. Take your scarf. Okay. All right, now listen. This is what God is trying to tell you. Give me your life. Give me your single life in Grand Junction. Give me your sleeping single in a double bed life. Give it to me. Well, God, if I do, then I'm probably going to end up some old church lady. That's all it's ever going to be for me. And God says, if you will, I will wrap it up in every dream you've ever had since you were a little girl. And I will make your dreams come true. And I will give you back your life better than you've ever imagined possible. Don't give your life to the bars. Don't give your life to the single clubs. Don't give your life to the internet, connection networks. Give it to Jesus. And you go, I don't know him that well. I'm not sure I can trust him. Listen to everyone in your life who has trusted him. Say, trade. Trade it. He's not going to trick you. He's not going to fool you. He loves you. And single adults, I'm going to tell you something. I don't care how old you are. He will make your dream come true. But this time, you blessed, decision-impaired brother or sister of mine, let his track record, who is perfect, choose your next one. All right? Happy Mother's Day. See you all later.